Right now, it was the topic of so many debates, which gave producers more than 13 reasons to renew it. Plus, some look down upon swearing, but lots look to it for a superpower. Come on, y'all, we have a super show lined up. The chat starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the chat. I'm Tony Fox, Henny, Angelia on the panel today, along with our special guest host, Janine Hoff. Janine is the founder of a local nonprofit, Where is the Sunshine, which is dedicated to mental health advocacy and support. She was also a 2016 TEDx speaker, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Welcome.
I'm glad to be back. This is great.
Everybody good on a Monday? You know, a lot was happening this weekend, so I feel like I had to go to work to get some rest. Which I know sounds, I know, it sounds odd.
That, but okay.
I know, right?
But we're one day closer to Friday, you know?
That's right.
Glass always half full.
That's right.
I'm still on a derby high, so I'm good today.
That's right. You were there witnessing it in person. Wow. It was money, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was the best derby ever. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, rain or shine, we were going to have a lot of fun, and we did. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. So
have some mint juleps?
Absolutely had a mint julep. So you can't drink the whole thing, though.
Two, three.
No, one. They had these drinks this year. I think the ladies were all drinking these Lily drinks, and all the guys were doing the bourbon. So a Lily drink was for me. That was a little bit more my speed.
A Lily drink?
Yeah, it was a Lily.
Like a flower?
Yep. Well, the Oaks is the first day, and the Oaks, they actually drape the winner in lilies, and the second day they draped the winner in roses. So they did lilies for the event. So it was really good. Yeah.
All right.
So it was fun. So coming off a high. So let's go.
All right, we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to Janine later. First, we are diving in. This is possibly the biggest topic around town, the Kareem Brown case. Jury deliberations now underway after attorneys gave their closing arguments this morning in the former U.S. Representative's corruption trial. Brown's defense attorney is pointing the blame to her former chief of staff, Ronnie Simmons. Prosecutors claim Simmons represents just a portion of the fraud Brown engaged in, which they say also involved years of unexplained cash donations and illegitimate tax exemptions. So the jury gets the case. They have a lot to deliberate. I mean, it is 22 charges. I mean, she could be guilty on all. She could be not guilty. Odds are it's going to be a mix of both. But I mean, they have to go through all of those. It has to be unanimous on each of those charges. And you just never know what a jury is going to do. And it really sounds like, granted, I haven't been in the courtroom, it sounds like it is going to come down to who do you believe? Who is more credible? Is it Kareem Brown going, I had no idea they were taking advantage of me? Or is it Ronnie Simmons who said, I came forward because it was the right thing to do, and she knew everything that was going to happen. I mean, that's what the jury is going to
Do you think it's going to be more about character, or do you think it's going to be more about numbers? Because I feel like it's a numbers game. Who's going to be the better forensic accountant on the whole situation on both sides? Because I feel like she's blaming him, he's blaming her, and character comes into play for both of them.
Well,
but I feel like, and the daughter, of course, is coming. So there's a lot of things that are outstanding.
Even with the numbers, she's still saying, I didn't know, and I didn't direct him to do that.
It doesn't matter. Numbers don't lie. And if you did something illegal and you signed it,
well, but she didn't necessarily. Well, the tax stuff she obviously signed. The other stuff, not necessarily. Just because she withdrew money, she's saying, well, I thought it was his money that he put in my account.
It's tricky. I have a nonprofit, and the rules are so, I mean, there's so many, and it's so strict. So you have to be very careful of every nickel and penny you spend, and you have to keep track of it. So, I mean, it is possible she didn't know, or it is possible she knew. It's very, very tricky.
Would it be hard, though? I mean, you own a nonprofit. Would it be hard to know all of those rules and regulations that you need to follow, or do you need that CPA that's doing it for you?
You need that CPA. I have my own, who's my husband, so he's an MBA, so he's really good with money and rules and stuff. But it depends how big the organization is. It's possible that she really didn't know.
Now, I'm wondering where the $800 come in, because allegedly there was multiple withdrawals of $800 in cash. And why was it just 800? Is that a nonprofit rule?
No.
Okay. But you know, I will say this: it's a very heartbreaking. The whole thing is heartbreaking, only because, you know, the black community has looked up, well, most of the Black community has looked up to Kareem for a number of years. You know, Kareem delivers, Kareem delivers. Everybody knows Kareem believes in her. She throws this big cookout every time it's time for election. She gets out there, she talks to the people, and they've built up a trust in her. And this would be, if she is found guilty, and I'm not saying, you know, I wish the best, I pray the best for she and Ronnie, but if she is found guilty, that is going to really scar the community, because we've trusted this lady for so many years. And, you know.
But what if the jury finds her not guilty? How is the Black community going to perceive that?
I think regardless, it's a wrap. It's a
So
wrap.
it's a wrap, meaning your career's over?
It's a wrap.
Well,
not so much the career is
okay.
over, but your trust has been broken.
Okay.
They're going to have a very difficult time trusting in you
Yeah.
like they did to keep them going back to the polls, electing you every single season. So it's even if she's not, the fingers, the allegations, it's just too many fingers,
Right.
and she's going to lose the trust of a lot of people.
Well, already, before she even went to trial, she lost her
yeah.
seat.
Oh, yeah.
So she was
Oh,
not
yeah.
reelected. So what you could be saying could already have happened. So, all right, well, we'll see, you know. And something else that has a lot of people talking today, a second season of a controversial Netflix show, 13 Reasons Why. Now, this show is about a girl who commits suicide and the reasons she did it. Some critics are frustrated with how the show portrays adults, counselors, and even the girl's friends as unsupportive. Others say the show offers parents an opportunity to start a dialogue with their kids and to encourage them to do the same with their friends. Now, Janine, I'm going to turn to you first because this is what you do. You work as a mental health advocate, and you've seen the show. And the critics say it glamorizes suicide. The producers, the people behind it say, no, that is not what we're doing. You've seen it. You work in the industry. What is your take on it?
I know it's a divisive topic, and I mean, the advocates, the professionals, they're all divided. Some love it, some hate it. I happen to be a fan. I watched it as soon as it came out on Netflix. I binge watched it with my husband, and I can see why they may think it glamorizes suicide, because it seems like a revenge show up until the episode where you actually see the suicide take place. And it is graphic, and how they portrayed it on screen and the reaction of her parents, I think it really is startling. It's shocking. Now, some people actually said that it should carry a warning with it, and they will add that warning now, Netflix.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
a warning about the suicide, because it is very, very graphic. And they're also adding, I think, the National Suicide Hotline's phone number, because some people do believe that is a trigger for anyone who has a mental health disorder.
That's
Is that
exactly what I
something
think
that
about
can
it.
happen?
It's suggestive. You suggest something and it's going to happen.
But
Just-
does that work? Is that true?
Yeah.
Can something like that trigger people to
Absolutely.
commit suicide?
If a person is struggling with their mental health, yes, it could possibly trigger them. However, what this show has done is it's sparked a dialogue amongst teens and their parents, which I go into high schools, and we're very lucky here in Duval County that the schools are very open to having us come in and talk about mental health with the kids. And the number one comment I get from the kids is, how come this is now? Why are we hearing about this in 11th and 12th grade? How come we're not hearing about this in middle school, 8th or 9th grade? That will help get us through high school. And the number two comment I get is, my parents have never spoken to me about suicide or mental health.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now,
That's huge.
at least amongst my friends, they're talking to their kids about suicide. They're watching the show together. They're not letting their kids watch it alone.
And you probably shouldn't if you're a parent.
Yeah, I think it is based on a teen book, a young adult novel. And I do think that there should be caution. I do think that young kids need their parents, because there is also several rape scenes. There's bullying. There's a lot of bad stuff that goes on in this series. But it's reflective of high school life. And if you talk to teens today, they're confused as to why there's so much debate, because they're saying you have to understand our lives. And the show also doesn't really portray mental health or mental illness. You see her in flashbacks, she's happy. You see some of the bad things that happen to her, but you don't see her depressed or anxious or suicidal until the very end.
Yeah.
And again, that's reflective of
life.
teens, of real life, how, you know, a breakup to them is the end of the world, and we know that there'll be many more, you know, later on in life. One of the things I do want to share is that I'm a mental health first aid instructor. And one of the things we talk about in our 8-hour course is that talking about suicide does not cause someone to attempt suicide. So the more you talk about it, and this program's from the National Council on Behavioral Health, the more you talk about it, the more preventative it is.
Okay.
See, I like the fact that the conversation is opened, but I don't like the fact that it's glamorized. So I think with the television show in this episode, the series, I feel like it's glamorized. If I were watching this as a teen, or my teen were watching this, I would feel like them seeing this, and then of course kids are going to talk in school. It's going to become glamorized even more so.
But did you see the actual suicide?
I didn't see that one yet, but I did see some of the others. So I didn't get to that one yet, but I do want to see it just to see it. But I'm on the side of, I feel like it's, if you see that suggestion or you hear that suggestion, just like advertising works exactly the same. You see a Milky Way candy bar advertised yesterday, today you want it. So you're going to see, not, you know, I mean, it's like,
later.
Not that it's food or something so simple, but I'm
you
saying,
haven't seen the suicide.
seeing that. I'm going to watch it,
Say
absolutely.
it's extremely graphic, so maybe once
totally
it gets
appreciate
to that,
your intake on it. I mean, your outtake on it. I definitely believe that. But I mean, I think that's a really tough thing to have your children watch. If I had kids, I don't know. I would definitely want to shelter them from that conversation, but not watching that show.
Selena Gomez, who's one of the producers, you know, famous actress and singer, she lives with a mental health disorder, and she lives with depression. She lives with anxiety.
And she just recently came out and
she
talked about that. It was not long ago at all. So
I think that with season 2, I think that they're going to take some of this into consideration and work with it that way.
Very interesting.
Alrighty, well, let's move this train along to a series of disturbing tweets that had started a conversation over sexual harassment. Natalie Gordon told the story of how she was sitting on a London bus on her way to a meeting, minding her business, when a man tapped her on the leg asking for bus route information. Now, after she replied, he then proceeded to ask her where she was going and asked if she'd like to join him for a drink later. Now, after she politely declined, he reacted aggressively, removing the earbuds from her hand and started to, quote, rub his crotch while staring right at her. So she got up and she asked him to stop, and when he laughed at her, she got up and reported him to the bus driver. Well, the bus driver responded by saying, quote, he probably isn't doing what you think he is. What do you expect me to do, unquote. She asked him to kick him off the bus or call the police. His reply, quote, you're a pretty girl. What do you expect? Well, she posted a series of tweets to call attention to what she calls victim blaming. So, ladies, I'm going to throw it out there and start with the guest host today. What are your thoughts?
It's just mind-blowing. The bus driver's reaction, that's, I think, more upsetting than what the guy actually did to her. I mean, they're both upsetting, but to have him not, he has a responsibility as a bus driver to keep his passengers safe, and they go through all sorts of training, and for him not to do anything, and his response was that you're pretty, that's not a response. That really is victim shaming.
Well, look at what's been happening, okay? You look at the Bill Cosby case. How many women had to come forward before they said, you know, what is going on here? How many women had to come forward? Fox News with Roger Ailes,
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Why are we never believed? Why? Why is it? And it's not just men who don't believe us. I had a conversation with a lovely listener. I love her to death. She writes me all the time. She emails me, and we disagree often, but it's always nice. And you know, I'll go, yeah, but I think da 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 da. And she goes, okay, well, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Yeah. Anyway, we talked about the whole Fox News thing, and she immediately, you know, is trying to say, well, you know, they're just setting him up, and this is just a conspiracy. Why is it that there have to be 20 women? Why isn't the word of one woman enough, whether it's rape or sexual harassment or whatever? Why? And let me tell you, it is a tiny percentage of rapes that don't happen, that are fake. It is a tiny percentage of women that aren't really sexually harassed. It is a tiny percentage. Most of us tell the truth, yet we are not believed. And people just say, well, what do you expect?
Well,
or,
you know, they say one bad apple
happen?
spoils the whole bunch.
It just, that's right. And they point to that one, you know, the Big Duke case, you know, which wasn't a real rape, you know, that didn't happen. They point to that, but they don't point to the many, many others that are true and really, really happen. And I'm sick of of it. As a woman, I am absolutely tired of it. It is time that you believe us if it happened. There shouldn't have to be 20 of us to stand up before you go, well, maybe it really didn't
But I mean,
happen.
you should be outraged because, I mean, just looking at science, I mean, everybody that's investigating all of this saying that there's only 1 out of every 3 women that are actually harassed. How many of you have been harassed in your lifetime?
Come on.
yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
mean-
100%. You've never been harassed in your lifetime? Never?
Ever.
No one has ever said anything inappropriate. They've never had.
verbally every day, but
They've
not
never
like what
pushed
she's-
themselves up against you
Oh,
while
no.
you're working,
Yeah. Oh,
or
no.
there's never been
Or,
any.
or out. You don't have to be at work. You could be,
Yeah.
you know, there. I mean,
I
I've
guess I'm
had
blessed. I have
men
not.
in cars make obscene gestures,
That's
right?
shielded
Whistling
protection,
at you.
baby.
Wow, that's amazing then. Because well,
have
you're
not.
the one. You're the one. Because I mean, I could say 100% of my friends, every single one of us, we've all experienced it once or 5 times in our lifetime. It has never been. I don't know anyone who has a 0 in their entire lifetime.
Yep.
And there's so many things that fall into that category.
Right.
And you know, I mean, the thing is, the harassment is discrimination. And so, I mean, it falls into that category. So if that falls into that category, you can actually sue this person for doing something so inappropriate to you. And it depends. I mean, women take it on different levels. I mean, it may be something they just brush off, but it may be something like this woman. She was truly offended.
And afraid. She was afraid.
And scared.
She was afraid of this guy,
Exactly.
the way he was looking at her.
Exactly.
And he got
You never
physical
know.
with her. I mean,
Yeah. Yes.
He
actually
violated her
took
face.
the earbuds. First, he took the earbuds out of her ears, and she said, "Don't." And he said, "Don't be rude. Like, don't you be touching my stuff, and don't you be touching me."
Well, you have to think about where it's coming from, though. From a male perspective, or whoever's putting that upon you, it's a control factor. So someone that is a complete stranger is trying to control you and your behavior. And that's what's the real problem, is no one needs to be able to control you by their reaction or their emotion or their character or what they're doing.
I
So
think
that's
men.
the wrong
I think in
part,
this
I think.
case, men just can't and can never truly understand, and will never. And it's not because they're horrible people. It's just because they're men, and it doesn't happen to you like it happens to women.
Sure.
You know, in all kinds of circumstances, every day, practically. You know, all the time. It happens all the time.
think about how
So-
many times do we ever hear about a man being assaulted by a woman? I can't think of a single time I've ever heard of one.
No.
Oh,
Zero.
Kenny Gilbert's raising his hand. Oh my gosh.
Tell us,
Shoot, we
tell
don't
us.
have time to
Before we wrap, I'm going to say 3 words, and I'm going to leave it at that. Please limit your hate mail. I don't believe her.
Oh. Well, and there you go. There's a perfect
Really?
example
Don't
of
believe her.
someone
Wow.
who how we don't,
Nope.
even women don't believe women.
I don't believe her.
So,
I do.
All right, well, before we go to break, we have a poll question we want you to take part in. Do you believe that certain foods can induce labor? We're going to tell you the story behind this question and the food that pregnant women are swearing by to induce labor when we come back. But for now, head over to firstcoastnews.com/vote and take the poll. Also, coming up next, when things get a little tough in the gym and you just can't seem to push out that last rep, a few words just might give you the strength to make it. And we're going to explain what those words are after the break.
Because